2 years ago, my photojournalist Michael and I took the ferry from Onancock to Tangier Island. We spoke with locals about erosion and how weather impacts the island. Now we're back and we're following through on what's changed and how the weather continues to impact Tangier.
We've always been in the news for, us washing away the hardships that we might face by continuing to live here. But I feel like we've got plenty to offer. We've got plenty of nature. We'll go up here, we might be able to see some baby seagulls. And I believe just as much as us getting protection, I believe that they should be protected as well. We want to continue to live here and they shouldn't be forced to move elsewhere either.
That's Cameron Evans. He's a photographer, guide. He also happens to be the vice mayor of Tangier Island. He's not only trying to save the land eroding from his home, he wants to build it back and bring back more wildlife.
But you can look down here, but these are the eel grasses. This is where the crabs go in to shed. We got a lot of aquatic life here. The grass have actually came back pretty well.
This is my photographers and my second time on the island. Truly unbothered by the outside. The people here have a unique way of life and a unique way of speaking.
Whether you can hear my accent or not, it's Elizabethan, so it's Old English.
But to local wildlife, Tangier is so much more. Evans said it's a great place for birds because they have no predators like they would on the mainland.
So it's sad to see this washing away as well because it's forcing all these birds to move elsewhere. Throughout it all, we've continued to see life, living on these little bits of land.
We spent most of the day on Evans's boat. He showed us where the island is eroding away.
See right here, it's almost like a shelf. And you can see that's the base layer. This is a step up, and then right here is a step up. When the erosion comes, in your higher tides, it breaks more, of this area away. But on your normal tides, it continues to chip and chip away.
We also got to see how most people on the island make a living.
So these are hard crab pots. You can bait a hard crab pot. That's a pretty big Jimmy crab. So right now we're getting $200 a bushel for these, which is pretty good this time of year. There's an oyster toad fish. But here, if it's windy and rainy, you might not be able to go to work the next morning because, we live on the water, so that's where we get our money.
You've basically lived here your entire life
just
then?
about lived.
So how is it here living on Tangier?
I love it. I'm full-blooded Tangierman. Michael.
A Tangierman whose job is to keep the people here connected to the world outside. Bradley Thomas is the mailboat captain for the island. We caught up with him as he was unloading the mail. He goes back and forth between Tangier and mainland Maryland. Bad weather can make that journey difficult, but the job is crucial.
Had to have the mailboat because we bring most of the supplies to the island.
Whether you're a waterman, captain of a mailboat, tour guide, or a photographer, weather plays a huge role in the life on Tangier.
So one of the reasons why I became a photographer was to try to capture Tangier for what might go unseen. And I felt like somebody needed to document it. I have tried to document the island to my best ability and in hopes for future generations to be able to see, what I've grown up in, because it's sad, but it is changing, and if we don't get protection, that's just something that we'll be able to look back on.
As the island gets smaller and smaller, the hopes for its future continue to grow. Hopes for replenishment, for wildlife rehabilitation, and an understanding that life on the island is worth saving.
If somebody asked me what Tangier Island is or where it is, I'd say it's a small island in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay that's got a rich history.
April Loveland, News 3.